I'm Greg Henderson. I'm an assistant professor in the Department of Nutrition Science at Purdue University. There's a commonly held viewpoint out in society in general that turkey does cause sleepiness. We hear that, sometimes on holidays, at Thanksgiving, we might have a relative say to us that they heard that the reason why we're going to be tired after we consume our meal that night is because it contains turkey, and turkey has high levels of tryptophan. The scientific community, the nutrition science community, doesn't think that tryptophan is the reason why we feel sleepy after a meal, because so many metabolic and hormonal responses are happening that there isn't any strong reason in the literature even to believe that tryptophan is the driver of that sleepiness after a meal. Tryptophan is used to synthesize a neurotransmitter called serotonin, and that promotes sleep. So increasing our blood levels of tryptophan could promote serotonin synthesis and thus sleepiness. But for this whole notion of turkey causing sleepiness to make any sense, turkey would have to have a lot more tryptophan than other foods that you would consume in its place if you didn't choose it. And it doesn't. So turkey has about the same amount of tryptophan as chicken and about the same amount as pork. So there isn't really much biological basis to consider turkey as something that specifically promotes sleepiness. It's a stretch to assume that tryptophan is the primary reason why we feel sleepy after a meal, especially in the setting of just consuming a big meal, and potentially for people who do consume alcohol, that can't be ignored because that could also cause some sleepiness later on. One thing that we can do to fight that fatigue or that tendency toward wanting to rest after a meal is to do something to increase the activity of our sympathetic nervous system. And ways that we can activate our sympathetic nervous system are to get some physical activity, like to take a walk. Another would be cold exposure. That increases activity of the sympathetic nervous system. So taking a walk outdoors if it's cold out would be a double whammy for increasing sympathetic nervous system activity. Another thing we can do is social interactions that excite us, like playing a fun game with family members or discussing a topic that really engages us.